Hi, and welcome to the Bruce channel. I'm Bruce, and it's been busy. Lots of auditions this week. None I can tell you about, but some of them are pretty cool. Thank you very much. So, although it took us until July 5th for our first official day of 90 degrees or more, we seem to have hit our stride. That is, most normal days. I know there's been an effort to replace normal highs with average highs or lows when speaking meteorologically. And yeah, sure, over time, that's what they are, averages. But normal in the way that we tend to use it, I think, is the word not speaking meteorologically, but it's a day with mostly sunshine. In winter or summer, it's thought of as a sunny day without anything remarkable. And here, our average highs right now are around 87 or so, but that includes the remarkable days when over the years it may not have rained, or it may have rained all day for several days, a cold front. So actually a normal day, in the way that I want to think of it, is one where the sun is out most of the day. And this time of year we typically get to 92 or 3. And yeah, if it gets to 99, it's way warmer than normal. Neither are we like Florida, where in the summer every day it's the same every day. Highs today around 97 with afternoon thunderstorms likely, like on a clock. Our heat here hasn't really been newsworthy, but the northern plains, the Dakotas and Montana, they have been super hot and super dry. They've got terrible drought. Storms in the Midwest, meanwhile, have caused flooding. They're moving east, and the Northeast now getting hit. But of course, it's the wildfires out west, up and down the coast. We're accustomed to wildfires threatening homes and cities in California, but it's happening in Canada. All right, one more weather note. In New Brunswick last Saturday, apple orchard owner J.D. Nadeau was about to toast his daughter, the bride, and her new husband. He did later, after a sudden rain shower stopped. But this picture was taken just before the rain, but about 1 second after he was struck by a lightning bolt. No kidding. You can see that's some look on his face. The good news is he's fine. He got wet, but otherwise he's okay. And so is everyone else. All right, so busy week for auditions, but otherwise it's been pretty discouraging. No, actually, discouraging is too weak a word. Simply put, I'm PO'd for several reasons, but at the top of the list, I cannot understand how so many Republicans in government and out can continue to support the robber baron in the White House. This isn't merely policy disagreement. Dems versus GOP, sure, forever. This isn't about a simple but patriotic ideologue like Ronald Reagan, or about a simple, intellectually incurious man who took us recklessly into war in Iraq. This is about a man who has exploited everything and everyone all his entire life, using coarseness and vulgarity and a complete indifference to anyone but himself and his kin. There is no humility. There is no nobility. And he and his staff have lied and lied and lied and lied. Michael Flynn didn't meet with the Russians. Oh, wait, he did. Attorney Jeff Sessions didn't meet with the Russians. Oh, wait, he did. Nobody in our campaign had anything to do with the Russians. Oh, wait. So late last week, Donald Trump Jr. responds to a report that he met with a Russian lawyer about getting dirt on Hillary Clinton. He said, no, it was mostly about adopting Russian children. Then he changed his story. And then finally, in an effort to show his transparency, he released the email setting it all up. Good morning. Emin just called and asked me to contact you with something very interesting. The Crown Prosecutor of Russia met with his father, Aras, this morning, and in their meeting offered to provide the Trump campaign with some official documents and information that would incriminate Hillary and her dealings with Russia and would be very useful to your father. This is obviously very high level and sensitive information, but it is part of Russia and its government's support for Trump, helped along by Aras and Emin. He goes on to say, but what's the best way to proceed? But again, there is no possible shading of this. This is obviously and very high level and sensitive information, but it is part of Russia and its government's support for Mr. Trump. The reply, thanks, Rob. I appreciate that. I'm on the road at the moment. Perhaps I should just speak to Emin first. Seems we have some time, and if it's what you say, I love it. All right. Let's set up a call when I get back. Best, Don. So we have learned that they did meet on June 9th. Also there, official son-in-law Jared Kushner and Trump campaign manager at the time, Paul Manafort, with the Russian lawyer Natalia Veselinets, well, yeah, I don't know how to say that. Jared Kushner and Paul Manafort. Would they, on short notice, attend a meeting about adopting Russian children? Really? Niet. Also, Donnie has said that his daddy didn't know anything about the meeting. Well, it's true. I didn't always tell my dad about every meeting I ever had, but Daddy didn't notice that Paul and Jared weren't around. He didn't ask about their day. And, as one pundit has pointed out, it was on June 9th that Daddy first tweeted about Hillary's emails. And, in fact, during a speech on June 7th, that is days before, but after the meeting had been arranged, Daddy promised a major speech, probably next Monday, promising a discussion of dirt on Hillary Clinton. Coincidence? Niet. Federal election law prohibits individuals or campaigns from accepting anything of value from foreign entities. Junior now calls it opposition research, but if it were dirt on Hillary, it would have value and it would have come from Russia. So I'm PO'd. I'm not alone. Arch-conservative Charles Krauthammer. He is an arch-conservative, but he is not alt-right crazy conservative. He said it pretty well. He said it was bungled collusion, it was amateurish collusion, it was Keystone Cops collusion, but it was collusion. He also pointed out that it undermines everything the White House has been saying for 6 months. There's nothing there. Niet. Former national chairman of the Republican Party, Michael Steele, is beyond PO'd. They are Republicans and they are unhappy with the stooges in the White House. But, you know, they have reason to be. But those who are paid to be funny are loving it. Probably Stephen Colbert got off the week's best line. He apologized to Eric Trump. He said, Eric, we're sorry. We always thought you were the dumb one. Oh, Krauthammer and Steele want the party to succeed. I get that. And Colbert and all the comics are feasting on this. But now we're getting reports that inside the White House and others who'd worked on the campaign have a new name for Junior. Fredo.
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Like dumb, I'm smart and I want respect.
Hey, let me tell you about my book, Shrink. For most of my adult life, I weighed a little over 100 pounds. Not much more than in this picture taken when I was about 17 and considering becoming a jockey. But as is often true, once I crossed into my 40s, extra weight came and it stayed. For years I tried to lose, instead gained, and ended up 153 pounds. And I'm embarrassed to show you this video. Then I learned that it isn't about calories and exercise, but instead it's about what you eat. You might say, sure, ice cream makes you fat. But there were surprises, things like orange juice not being such a wise choice if you're trying to lose weight. So I just made some basic changes to what I ate, not how much, and the weight just fell off. Now, nearly 3 years later, it is still off. And don't misunderstand, I'm eating foods I like, not bamboo shoots. Friends ask me how I did it so often, I put it in a book. It's available as an ebook for all platforms, and the print edition is available at barnesandnoble.com and amazon.com. Hey, you can shrink too.
Welcome back. Remember, you can watch our previous shows at either tinyurl.com/BruceChannel or at our Facebook page, and you can write to us at the Bruce Channel at yahoo.com. All right, so there's another reason I'm PO'd. I saw a documentary, and, well, in my book, I wrote a bit about how underhanded many of our food producers are, so I shouldn't be surprised, but it's nevertheless disappointing to learn that there's at least as much chicanery involved in the pet food industry. The documentary is available for streaming on Netflix, but if you don't have it, if you don't have Netflix that is, you can also view it for a nominal fee on either Vimeo or YouTube. It's called Pet Fooled, and I love this stylized logo. At the opening, it starts with this troubling fact. Although a trip to a big box pet store or just a Walmart or a Target or your neighborhood grocery, there seems to be an incredible array of pet food. There appears to be all this variety, but worldwide the industry is dominated by just 5 companies. So that was a revelation. So was the fact that, although again, some of what I learned as I researched for my book also held true for pet foods, and that is, carbs aren't any more healthy for pets than they are for us. Now, I knew that, just like a lot of you do, that people food, the ingredients are listed in descending order by weight. That's true for pet food too. But there are also official terms, like dog food or beef dinner. Dinner is an official term. As with width. Width is an official term. So is flavor. Take a look.
The regulators have created special terminology for packages, assuming that consumers would be able to guess what they mean. Any product containing the words dinner, nugget, or formula only have to contain 25% actual meat. Any product labeled with only has to contain 3% meat. Furthermore, the so-called flavor rule allows for any protein to be listed on the back. It may be flavored as meat, but in reality, a bag that contains the word flavor may contain little to no meat. By using the keyword flavor on the package, the pet food could, but does not have to contain any meat at all. But it's acceptable for the package to contain an image of a fresh steak. Ingredient panels do display protein percentages, but protein percentages do not represent actual meat content in the product, as protein can come from a multitude of sources. This raises the question if the average consumer knows that the terminology used on packages reveal the exact amounts of meats used in foods. Trying to understand who exactly makes these rules and what their actual legal authority is leads to many different organizations.
So I looked over what I have here in my house, and there will be some changes. And they don't make it easy. You can't read this. It's on a curve. It's the tiniest print. This one you can't see because the black ink against the dark food inside. But even if I put a white backing in place, it still needs a magnifying glass. And it's worse for my cat, although I didn't know it. 9 lives, indoor complete, descending order by weight. We look at the bag. All right, whole ground corn. That's the first ingredient. Cats are protein obligate. That's all they should eat. And the first ingredient is corn, then chicken byproduct meal, then corn gluten meal, soybean meal, whole wheat, meat and bone meal. It goes on this way. Katie the dog's dry is better. Chicken meal, brown rice, brewer's rice, and it is chicken and rice are okay. But long term, there's an old song. There'll be some changes made. Yeah, I may start buying chicken gizzards and hearts and livers and grinding them up and cooking them and maybe adding some eggs. There's protein in eggs. And maybe I'll include some manufactured foods because I don't think there's a lot of vitamins in chicken gizzards, but at least it's real food. Again, the film is called Pet Fooled. Give it a look-see. Or at the very least, encourage your friends and family with furry friends. Encourage them to give it a look-see. Okay, before we leave you, we can't just leave you PO'd. We're disheartened even. So, first, I saw this, and I must say it's a premier example of being conflicted. All right, and a few shows ago, I showed you a couple of pachyderm films. Well, here's another, and it's great.
Så jävla gullig. Wee! Oj! Ja.
And one more.
He's not messing around.
That helps make up for the other stuff. All right. That's it for this week. Lots going on, to be sure. I must point out, though, that Wednesday, July 19th, is a threefer. Threefer. Start with it being Daiquiri Day. And I find I'm becoming more spiritual every week. It is also Hot Dog Day, so go have some hot dogs. And maybe take in a ball game. And finally, for dessert, it's Ice Cream Day. Now, I'm not so much into ice cream, but I endorse the idea that there should be ice cream. So start with a daiquiri, down a hot dog, have some ice cream for dessert, followed by a daiquiri. And whatever else you make of it, I do hope this upcoming week is the best one you've ever had.